Hey, it's Tom from Inspiration Metalworks, and in this week's video, I'm going to show you a quick tip on how I can do multiple cuts in a nice consistent way without having an end stop or one of these fancy feeders and things like that. So here's our dilemma. I have several parts that I need to cut. My go-to saw, I don't know if you guys can even see it, I'll have to reframe a little bit, but my go-to saw for this is my cold cut saw. My cold cut saw is great. I really, really love this thing. But one of the things it doesn't have is a stop that you can use to quickly feed in your stock and pull it out of the way, do your cut. So a rapid way of cutting multiples of the same thing. So let's take a look at how I do that. All right, to get started, I know that I have to cut several of these 2.5 inch blanks for the lathe. And frankly, a lot of times what I do is I have it pre-cut before delivery. So when I get my stock from metal supermarkets, I basically just say, hey, I need 20 of these 1 inch 6061 at 2.5 inches. And I get a package of parts, stock ready to go. They usually are good within, so their stated tolerance is 1/8 of an inch on their cuts. So I typically go a little bit over. Honestly, these guys are pretty good. They're normally within about a 1/16 of an inch, but there's always the off day, right? So what do? Well, I start out with a real quick and easy way. I use my square, and I basically just come up, and I've got this set, and this is not like super precise work, guys, right? So I basically just have it set on here, and I use my Sharpie, and I basically just go ahead and mark my cutoff point on the Sharpie. Now I know that the blade's going to take the line, right? So it should come no further than the line, but it's going to take the line. Okay, step 2, we're going to reposition and head over to the saw. Alright, so the next step in this is I get my stock in here, and I bring the blade down, and I look at where that carbide is lining up, right? So I'll scratch it a little bit, just enough to where I can see where it's lining up. I can see that it's about where I want it to be, right? So what I do is I bring over a 1-2-3 block, and you notice I have some of this cleaned up already. You do have to be careful on this stuff. Make sure it's not, you don't have chips everywhere, that it's okay. And this one you can see it's already marked for this one because I do this more than once. But basically I set the 1-2-3 block there, and I can always wipe stuff off, but I come in with my Sharpie at that point and I make my line. So now I've got a stop, right? I can come in, I make sure this is clean each time, and just wipe it off real quick if I see that there's chips in there, because I'm looking straight down this way. I can see if there's chips in between the side here. Most times I'm cutting much further out. Like you can see I had a mark there, it was way out here. But yeah, it's there, it's ready to go, and so we go ahead and cut, which is really loud, folks, and it's going to shake the heck out of things. I don't know that I can get you an angle of the cut, but we'll try it. And there you have it. There's our part. But how did we do on length? Well, let's find out. All right, so let's see how we did. Basically, come over, and we're pretty darn good. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I'll take that any day. It's a better tolerance than what I'm going to get ordering it from these places, from the supplier. So, not exactly rocket science here, folks. Sometimes it's just about using your head. I just need a way to quickly eyeball this and cut it, and there it is. So now you know the way that I do it, and maybe you can speed things up on your shop sometime. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you again real soon.